you say how close it was that Klitschko might have been in the opposite corner to Dubois, and is that possibility still open?
It was a very brief conversation, to be honest. It was, and I've got a lot of respect and I like Wladimir. He's a lovely guy, and we met again and we had quite a lengthy chat out in Riyadh at the last show. And he looks in magnificent condition. He looks after himself. He's not, he's an older guy. I don't like the idea of older guys fighting, but he's in tremendous condition. He looks after himself. And I look back to when George Foreman come back, who weren't in great condition when he come back. And I promoted one of George's fights when he came back, and he came to the UK on his comeback trial, and he went up winning a world title. Who knows? Anything can happen, with these guys. But I'm not a big fan of guys coming back at that age.
There you have it, guys. There's Frank Warren confirming that he has spoke with Wladimir Klitschko about possibly coming back to take on Daniel Dubois in February. And briefly, okay. And I want to remind everyone something. I think that these rumors kind of get stretched out, I think the truth stretches a bit, because I don't really think that he had a deal on the table for him. That's Frank Warren's conversation with Wladimir Klitschko versus what Turki Al-Sheikh wanted for Wladimir Klitschko with Tyson Fury. So those were two different fights and two different opportunities. Okay, keep that in mind. Okay, because Daniel, he has his own thing going with the IBF. And of course, Tyson's trying his best to get his titles back from 2015, from getting them from Wladimir Klitschko, from losing them or not really obtaining them against the guy that is currently defending them, is Alexander Usyk. So, however, I do think Frank Warren is not really keen on it. He just really addressed it. He's like, I'm not a fan of these guys, these older guys fighting. And then we look at George Foreman as he takes him as an example. I mean, it sounds good. It sounds great for someone to have the opportunity to do so on top of actually doing it. Okay, because nobody thought that George Foreman was going to knock out Michael Moore. We thought that was going to be an easy landslide victory for Mr. Michael, okay? But it didn't happen that way, okay? And that normally does not happen, okay? So, however, though, I think that it could happen. If the right circumstances presented himself, it could happen. But Vladimir's turned it down, and I think he knows. I think he's more of keeping himself in shape based on, him living a cleaner and healthy lifestyle, which is nothing wrong with that. I need to hang out with him for about 2 or 3 months, That would be dope. To come back shredded, right? We're hanging out with Wladimir Klitschko. But, nonetheless, I think that, Klitschko coming back to the ring, I want to remind you guys of something that just happened. Mike Tyson. See, Mike, I think, if Mike was injured to that degree, he shouldn't have been there. And it just shows you, that's not really a good idea based on what we just seen with another example. Okay, because Mike is an example of someone that definitely did not need to go back in there, but made a whole lot of money coming back in there, So, but nonetheless, that is Frank Warren confirming his brief talks with Wladimir Klitschko concerning coming back to fight Daniel Dubois. But I am glad of the choice that Daniel has chosen to fight Joseph Parker, okay? But you guys tell me what you think of Frank Warren explaining what the conversation was, or his brief conversation of it actually taking place. So that's actually some accurate news going on. But of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunched.